So I'd had this whole show planned out a couple of days ago, and we were going to talk about 5 outstanding Supreme Court cases and the impact that those cases were primarily or possibly or potentially going to have on us as Americans. And of those 5 cases, the Dobbs case, the abortion case, the Roe v. Wade overturn case, is probably the least impactful on your personal civil rights, your personal liberties of all the cases that are still outstanding, and particularly these 5 rather important cases. The show was done. I was just trying to get my voice back and get back up to strength and get back up to where I wanted to be when the news broke that there was an attempted assassination of a Supreme Court justice. We still don't have all of the facts, and I'm hesitant to get into things because just because it's breaking news doesn't mean we actually know what the news is. Details a day later are still emerging. We still don't know all of the details. We know some of them, and we know who the guy was, and we know what he had, and we know how the media is portraying what he had. I think it's pretty funny. I was talking to Bill and Rod this morning about it, and how if they were describing me, they would talk about my .45 caliber semi-automatic military-grade firearm. But for this guy, they talk about his Glock 17 pistol. As if, you know, it's just weird how it's being treated. But on this, the day that the January 6th hearings, quote unquote, they're not hearings, they are press statements, are supposed to try to convince me that this was the greatest threat to the Republic of all time, I'm still standing here reading headlines about a man who wanted to assassinate a Supreme Court justice. And why did he want to assassinate the Supreme Court justice? Well, he has allegedly told the police that the reason he wanted to do so is because he was upset about the Dobbs leak decision. Not the leak itself, but the potential for the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And at the same time, he was upset about the New York SAFE law, which might be overturned as well. And it seems like the irony of that position is just whoosh, right over people's heads. Certainly the media is not talking about it. For those of you who don't know, and maybe you don't, I don't know, the New York SAFE Act is a SAFE being an acronym for something or other, and I've forgotten off the top of my head, sorry. I wrote it down, but I'm not, as you can probably tell, I've gone away from my notes already. The SAFE Act is a New York law, it's New York state law, that essentially allows red flag laws to be used and abused in ways that I believe the people who wrote the bill intended, but they will tell you, we didn't mean it for that, but clearly they did. The state of New York has used it to seize hundreds of guns from otherwise law-abiding citizens, and this law might be struck down. And this would-be assassin who traveled from California to Maryland to assassinate a Supreme Court justice over the rulings was upset about this ruling, this potential ruling that will overturn the SAFE Act, and so he was going to use a gun to possibly assassinate Justice Kavanaugh. And the irony of that just seems to escape people. I don't really seem to know why, but at the end of the day, I'm told that January 6th was the threat to the American Republic. But this, I'm just supposed to blow it off because he's mentally ill. Look, there are a lot of things that we could talk about today. I was prepared to talk about these 5 cases. Maybe I still will. There are 2 religious cases, the Judge Kennedy case, as well as a case out of Maine dealing with private schools. There's a case out of West Virginia dealing with the EPA. And, of course, there's the Dobbs case, the Roe v. Wade case. And all of these cases have importance, and all of these cases have meaning, and all of these cases are going to affect things. But we've reached a point where our society has lost its freaking mind. And I'm just going to say this in the final analysis. If you're willing to kill anyone because of their political beliefs or religious beliefs, or because they don't like a football team that you like, or whatever, if you're willing to kill someone because of their views on abortion, guns, sex preference, whatever, if you're willing to kill someone, regardless of which side you're on, you are mentally ill and you need help right now. If you think that killing someone who disagrees with you is the solution to the problem, it's going to, as this clown apparently told the police, make your life have meaning. You are wackadoodle and you need help now. Killing people is, well, it's antithetical to everything that we say we believe. The rule of law, the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Your desire to kill someone because they don't believe in the same God you do, because they don't believe in the same type of relationship you do, because they support a right to life and you don't, so you're going to kill someone, is insane. And the fact that you can't see that it's insane, you want to blow up an abortion clinic or kill an abortion doctor, you're fucking crazy. Get help. It doesn't serve our country either when our politicians say stupid things. Chuck Schumer's, I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind. You will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions. Do you think Chuck Schumer's having to explain any of that today? Do you think anybody's saying to him, do you think your rhetoric might have contributed to this man's insane desire to commit violence? And even if they do you know what his response will be? Well, I was speaking metaphorically. I wasn't speaking about people actually killing anybody. I don't believe in that, except that I do believe in abortion. It's time, folks. I mean, I'm so frustrated with the whole thing because really, I'm told today over and over again, I watched 3 hours of news this morning. January 6th was the most threatening thing to our republic that's ever happened, even compared to the Civil War, the War of 1812, or the nullification crisis of 1832, or Watergate, or anything else you can name. January 6th is king of all of them. And yet we had a man encouraged by rhetoric who believed that if he assassinated a Supreme Court justice, his life would have meaning and he would change the direction of the country. Now you tell me, which one of those is the real threat?